Hello, beautiful people of the interwebs. Wayne Hackman here, aka Whackstar. It's been a while since I've done an amateur radio video, but I've been quietly working on my field kit, and we've come away for the weekend, and this is my first opportunity to put it all into action, and I want to bring you along for the ride and show you what I've done. So let's have a quick overview of what I've brought with me, what I've purchased and what I've built myself. For the power side of things, I've built a 80 watt solar panel charging device that has a small 12 volt battery itself, but also can charge up things like this. This is a 12 volt solar battery that I use to run the rig. I've also got myself a Buddipole, which can also be converted into a buddy stick, and an accompanying arm or telescopic mount that can sit into this little tripod here. Under that, I've also got a fishing rod, and that opens up to about 7 meters plus a sort of fishing rod holder. I've got a good trusty Bofang UV5R, and then in this case here I've done something a little special. This is what I've been doing for a while. I built myself a little portable rig that has my Kenwood TS50, a Reverend UHF and VHF radio, a tuner, the capability of connecting it via power, 2 outputs for the antenna, as well as somewhere where I can hang the microphones and listen to the speaker. And so I've been building this over the last couple of months, and this is the first time I've gone away from my home, away from my icon, and going to try this out. So I'll talk you through each and every item in a little bit more detail in a moment, so that you know how I've built it or where I've got it from. And whilst I'm talking you through it, I'll also set it all up, ready to hopefully make some contact. So what have I done here? I actually had this old tool case, and I was just filling it full of wires, and thought to myself, I wonder if I could have a radio all set up in here, so that all I needed to do was lift the case, plug in the power, and then attach the antenna. And so that's what this whole rig is been designed to do, although it's got a couple of little extras which are quite useful. And so obviously you've got the Kenwood here, and then you've got the Reverend here. This is all the HF stuff, this is all the UHF and VHF. The antenna tuner here, which is obviously connected to the Kenwood, but it just seemed a good place to go. Then at the back here, the antennas, both these antennas come out of the radios and then go into these little sockets here, so that I can do quick release of the antennas. And then power comes into this sort of Anderson type connector here, and into this sort of distribution board here. Everything is fused so that things aren't going to get damaged. And then there's another couple of little extra things in there. I've got a 12 volt to USB C voltage adapter, which goes into a couple of these here, and you can see this goes into a charging dock for one of the UV5Rs, and that I've done that purposely. And when I'm out in the field, last year I went on a big Rhino charge, and I got a few of these, and I sort of put in a frequency, a license frequency that we have to be able to use. So I've got 4 or 5 of these, and we can charge these all on the go. And then the other cool thing is this switch here, and I'll show you in a minute, actually goes to a set of LEDs up here, and that shines nicely down into the unit here, hopefully useful at night. And then of course I've got this PAMA CS1011 speaker, which can be connected into either of these devices. So this is a Buddipole antenna with an antenna extension here. This is quite a versatile kit. You can see that you've got some extension arms, you can see the antenna whips there. I've actually got 3 of those there. You've got 2 loading coils because ultimately this was bought as a dipole. You've got in here an the adjustable antenna arms, so you can adjust these to have different shaped dipoles, which is quite useful. Comes with this nice bit of coax cable, and then this here is what turns it into the buddy antenna type thing, so you can actually have a whip sticking straight up and use this as a counterpoise. I haven't used that yet. And then of course you've got your ballon there and various instructions in there giving you advice on where you need to set the loading coil for what frequency that you're going to use. So I'm going to quick time lapse set this up so you can see what it looks like, and then we can plug that into the HF radio that I showed you earlier.
Voiceover Wayne here. Why the other Wayne is setting up the Buddipole at 100 miles an hour. I just want to say thank you. Thanks for tuning into this video and making it this far. You know, it really helps the channel if you throw up a like, hit a subscribe, maybe even comment and give me some encouragement on my ham radio hobby. I'm always looking for people who can help me get better at this hobby. Well, back to the build, and thanks again for watching.
So the next antenna is my HF antenna, and I actually bought one of these, and this is capable of doing 44 up to 430 megahertz, so it's perfect for using it for the UHF and VHF. And I also bought one of these telescopic rods and what I do using table tie it to the top of that, and then I have a rod holder here with obviously some coax as well, and so this makes up what I'm using at the moment for my UHF VHF. So there you go, everything is plugged in, everything is operational. There's the you can see there's the retrovis. The tuner is operational as well, and you can see the Bofang charging there. And then this is my little feature that I like, and a little bit of an overhead light. So if I'm out camping, I can use some of that power to give a bit of illumination that I can write down things on my log. Now there's one piece of the puzzle to my field kit that I haven't shown you there, and that is how do I recharge this 12 volt battery, and I'll show that to you now. So this is I call it the Whackstar 80W. It's basically an 80 watt solar panel, an old solar panel that I just had kicking around and doing nothing. I bought a very cheap charge controller, wired the output of the solar panel straight into the charge controller, and then the charge controller then sends power down to this switch here. And this switch can either dump the solar charge into an old motorbike battery that I have that works perfectly for this, and actually also sustains enough light there and can charge some USB-C USB devices off. But I've also added these little clamps here so that I can now attach these clamps to that 12 volt battery that's connected to my radio gear. And when I'm not using the radio, you can't charge it while you're using the radio because it makes a funny hum sound. But when I'm not using the radio, I can top up the battery and in theory be completely self-sustaining. And that's all hot glued and screwed into a bit of wood here, and I can carry it around on this strip. It's also really useful for camping. You can take it out and the family can charge their phones, and you can do it without running the battery down. And if you're ever caught out in the bush and you run your own car battery down, you can top it up using this charge controller. Yes, it's not a solution that you should continually top up your car battery with. I'd use a proper car charger for that, but it's certainly something that can be used in the field, and it's certainly good for charging up solar batteries. And so that is what I did out of a few components that I've got, and all of this kit now I can use on the field without the worry of running out of battery. So there you have it. That's my portable kit that I've been experimenting with over the last few months. This is the first time that I've used it all together. Already speaking to, or listening to rather, some stations all around the world, and hoping going to make some contacts later this evening. But I just wanted to share that with you. That's how I have created a pretty easy, quick and portable system, something that I can set up in, I think I did that in less than 20 minutes and was listening to stations pretty quickly, something that will charge up out in the field. And it's always good to share how other people do their own rigs, and maybe there are a few videos that I can create in the future where I actually take this into deep bush. Thanks so much for watching. Please give a thumbs up. It always helps the channel, and I look forward to catching you in the next video. Bye. Five Zulu 4 Whiskey Hotel. 5 Zulu 4 Whiskey Hotel.
5 Zulu 4 Whiskey Hotel. I hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yeah, just set up portable this morning and wanted to try out my rig. And I'm glad that you're coming in. You're both coming in at around 5 and 8, 5 and 9. And we're just outside Nakuru, staying in a place called Kembu this morning. So yeah, glad you can speak to me. I'm putting 100 watts into my Buddipole this morning. So 5 Zulu 4 Whiskey Hotel, returning back to the net. Over.
Roger, Roger. I have you loud and clear. You're 5 and 8, 5 and 8 in Guru, here at the radio. I also have Papa November. Papa November, do you copy Whiskey Hotel? Affirmative. I did Whiskey Hotel, 5 8 on my side. I don't know how is my signal on this side, over.